You betcha. I am from Wisconsin, near the Milwaukee metro area, just outside by about 30 miles in a town called Oconomowoc. Been in the business for 15 years with myself and my wife together. We have a small team here, very small, just a couple other agents. And yeah, we've been at EXP for, well, we're just about to hit 3 years and loving every minute of it.
Awesome. Thank you. How about yourself, Aaron? How long in the business? How long with EXP? And all that good stuff.
Yeah, so probably one of the old guys in the room. So been in the business for 27 years, since 1994. Been with EXP for 3 years. Prior to that, owned my own brokerage for about 16 years. Have a great team here and a great brand in Las Vegas. Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy. And so excited to be here and help agents any way I can.
Yeah, I pulled you up on Zillow. You have a bunch of 5-star reviews. That's awesome.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that.
Sure. Lisa, you're up next.
All right. Good morning. I'm Lisa Kenyon from Montana. I'm going on 17 years as a broker in Montana. I'm also a supervising broker, and I'm the corporate broker for EXP. I have been with EXP. It'll be 5 years in March. This is the very first year that I've actually iconed. I love this company, love what I do, and I love helping my agents in my area. We try to hold meetings just so we can get together, just have impromptu type things. So great business. It's a great career, and I love being here.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And, congratulations on hitting icon status. If we can ask you, how'd you do this, and how long did it take you to reach that level of production?
So, well, I'm going on the 5th year, so it took me the 5 years. We have a lower average sales price, so it takes a little longer to get to that point. Most of my business comes from referrals, past clients, because I've been in the business long enough, but it's just a different atmosphere when you're in rural, so it takes a little longer. But I love the perks and what's happening, and so I'm trying to do it again this next year. I don't know. I think I've had some great years. Every year's been better with EXP as far as production, as far as what I'm learning, the learning curve. I just love how every year something's growing, either inside and outside the business. So
it's awesome. And what's really cool about the EXP world, you can literally come into the ICONversations and pick up a lot of great nuggets, and everyone is so willing to share, which is pretty neat about our company for sure. Aaron, what about yourself? I know you're Icon. How many times have you hit Icon, and how long did it take you to reach the level of production you currently have now?
Well, before I answer that, if the agents that are in the audience, if they could just put in the chat box, I'm kind of curious, because every time I do this, I like to direct my questions to the people that are listening. If you do like less than 20 transactions a year or 10 transactions, about 20 or less, just put yes in the chat box. I like to see how many people do less than that. But so I've been with the company 3 years. I hit Icon every year, but we're going to hit our goal. We're going to do about $110 million this year. I have about 12 agents on my team. We're very productive, a very productive listing team. So we hit Icon pretty quick, usually in the first month. But it's just, it's a different structure, very business orientated. I run my company like a business, and not too much like an individual realtor. So as you ask questions, I see a lot of yeses, which is great. So I when I answer questions, and I want to answer them to where I want to help agents that do less than 20 deals that are kind of new, so I can go back when I first started and help them get to where they want to go. If they want to get to Icon, how I got there, and But again, I've been doing this 27 years, so a long time, man. I'm about 5 minutes from retiring. How's that?
That's really awesome to engage the audience in that way. And yeah, it's really amazing how many people, or agents I should say, that are 20 units or less. As we ask questions, if those in the audience can chime in and ask a question, we'd be happy to engage and answer the best way we can. Craig, what about yourself, Craig? What are you? I know you hit Icon, obviously. How many times have you hit it? And tell us a little bit about your business.
Sure. So like I said, we've been with EXP now we're going to hit our third year at the end of December. We spent our first year as part of another team, our first half year, and have been Icon for the last 2 years. We like I said, we have a very small team. My wife and I will do just about 15 million this year and about 51 transactions.
Wow, that's awesome. So, if I can ask you, obviously you're hitting Icon. One of the questions that I have here, it says, what's your number one priority every single day, and what do you do every day? What's the most important thing you do every day to contribute to your success?
All right, sure. Well, the number one thing I do every day probably is get up at the same time and start out my day the exact same way. I do believe in a very specific morning routine. And then part of that morning routine is flowing into prospecting. We can't sell anything if we don't talk to people. So that is probably the number one main thing I have to make sure that I do every single day is talk to people.
Absolutely. We are in the meet the people business. We're not secret agents. How about yourself, Aaron? What is your number one priority every single day that you, in regards to your business?
Yeah, that was really good, Craig, because that's what I've always done when I first started in the business, and I do now, is I always make 5 contacts every single day. And now I don't even have to work at it. It's like breathing. So I'm constantly on the phone, constantly talking to my A-plus clients. And when I first started, I learned very quickly that this business, you have to acquire people. So my database that I had, which I didn't even call it, when I started, we didn't have CRM. We had flipping index cards, right? So I'm writing down people's names and numbers on index cards because I figured I need to acquire as many people as I can that don't have a real estate agent that they would use, and always made those phone calls. And that's what I still do today. So as soon as I hit my car, or if I have a down minute in between my schedule, I'm on the phone talking to people, asking them questions, creating relationships, just very social. Still doing it to this day.
Awesome. Hey, Aaron, if I can ask you, as in regards to your business, it shows, you have a lot of business, and this is a personal question I have for myself, and I'm pretty sure the audience would love to hear this as well. Like, what would you say in regards to your business? Where does a majority of your business come from, and how do you, if it's fear, how do you stay in front of them, that kind of stuff? So damn near 70% of my business comes by referral. So we've been very successful in the old Brian Buffini methods. If you're ever looking for a coach, and Brian Buffini, we've been with him for, many years, probably 15, 20 years. And I did a lot of things that Brian taught, but Brian taught me how to do them on purpose. So we're great in keeping in touch with our people every month, whether it's a video email, whether it's something in the mail, whether it's a note. 2 nights ago, I had my client appreciation party. We had to skip COVID's the year before because of COVID, but we had our big party. We had 250 of our best clients that refer us business. We go all out with our clients. We show them that we love them and we care about them. And I guess the big thing is doing all those touches with people, but learning as you get older to do things on purpose to get the result that you want, right?
So that's just what we've been consistent with over the years. And then I think about 5 or 6 years ago, we threw a CRM system in there, which I was probably one of the last guys to get rid of their notepad and their paper and really get a CRM and start adding people to that. And that's a constant maintenance as well. Every single week, every single month, separating our clients from the ones that refer us to ones that use us, then buyers, sellers, and vendors. And then the other thing I did when I first started off, and I do it to this day, is we don't write a check to anybody that doesn't reciprocate with us, that doesn't refer us business. So from my escrow officer to the sales rep, to the mortgage person, to the inspector, to my maintenance guys, to my flip crew, to everybody in the office, every staff member, every single person believes in our culture and refers as business. So if you start building a team around you like that, that's good for a dozen transactions by itself. Just make sure that everybody you touch and everybody that you write a check to, no matter what it's for, believes in your culture and refers you business.
That's awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I have to agree that with my day, when you're talking about the number one thing, I do my calendar. And I totally agree with routine. It seems like my days automatically fall into the same routine because I've been doing it so long. So my routine is the same every single day. And if I get off track, or even if you take a vacation day, it's hard to get back on track. But once you're back in that routine, it just is automatic.
Awesome, Lisa. What if I can ask you? What does your daily schedule look like as far as like time blocking?
So I actually go really to my calendar first. I have it all figured out the day before and kind of know what I'm going to be doing. I have the old school paper calendar on my desk, and I also I'm trying to live by my other calendar that's in my phone. So I do the calendaring, I do my lead generation. I'm talking to people, calling people, at least emailing, texting, whatever form that they like to get in touch with. I'm also looking online to see exactly what they're looking for, because usually I put them into our MLS system so I can kind of see what they're looking at, keep tabs on which direction they're going. And then my biggest thing I use is called Outbound Engine, and it's a monthly newsletter. I can input my own listings in it, so it can advertise my listings at the bottom, but it just gives them a tip, and it shows me how many people actually engage, how many people just receive it, and how many people actually open it. So I can focus on clients that are engaged at that point and really looking at something.
That's great. Thank you. Welcome, Sonia. I see that you're having some computer issues, but we are happy you made it.
Thank you very much. Sorry about that. Haven't been in the world in a couple weeks, was on vacation.
Awesome. If you can tell us a little bit about yourself, your production, how many people on your team, where you service, how long you've been in the business, and all that good stuff.
Sure, thanks. Sonia Johnson. I live on the North Shore of Boston, Massachusetts. I've been in the business for 22 years. I am a single agent, live in a small 14,000 person town. Most of my business is a repeat business. I'd say 99.5% of my clients are repeat and they're referrals. Last year had 22 million in sales and about 42 sides, which I probably won't ever do again. But yeah, that's pretty much what I've done and where I've been.
Must be super busy with that kind of production.
Extremely, yes.
Hey, Craig, if you can, here's a question. What would you say your secret sauce is that helps you year after year become an ICON agent?
Oh, okay. Secret sauce would just be the simple consistency would be, I would say, the secret sauce. Like I said, I do the same thing every day. As I mentioned, my wife and I work together. She helps me out with that, makes sure I stay consistent. I make sure she does. We both do our own prospecting each day. So making sure consistently that we hit the must-dos, working on the pipeline and what can come next. So whether that's talking to past clients, whether that's a new business, whatever it may be, getting that stuff done first consistently every single day.
Thank you. Thank you. Lisa, what about yourself? What would you say your secret sauce is?
Well, I'm wondering if I have the wrong answer, because my secret sauce is purely relationships. Everything I've built on is about relationships, past, present, and hopefully future relationships. So try to get out in the community. I try to do things where I can visit people, acknowledge their business. When we have our meetings, we put a sandwich board up saying there's the EXP meeting in progress, and I tag their business. I try to just everything I'm thinking about is always relational, whether it's clients or fellow businesses. Being in a small town, everyone knows everyone. So that's kind of where I come from with my business.
Thank you. Erin, what about yourself? How many agents do you have in your team, and are you in production, or what is your position on your successful team?
So we have about 12 agents on our team, 12 agents currently. I have 3 agents that do all the listings. And then I'm working my way out of production slowly but surely. You know, it's tough to do, right? I don't help buyers very much unless it's a good friend. And then like today, I'm going to go on a listing that they want to sell their house. So I'll do the purchases. But for the most part, I try to remove myself from production. And I noticed when I listened to Lisa and Sonia and Greg and everybody that icons, you know, they always have one common denominator, which is we always help the community, and, you know, a lot of the same answers, right? We help the community, we're involved, we put our agents first, we put our staff first, and that's kind of been us too. You know, we have a really good culture in the Real Estate Guy group here, where everything that we do is either to help an agent, help a client, no matter what system it is, and that's what we're very constant at. But I think in a couple years, I should be out of production, you know, altogether. That's my goal, anyways.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Lisa, do you have an effective lead generation tool, or what do you use in your business operation?
So I use a company called Outbound Engine, and I'm trying to learn KV Core a little better. I'm trying to use that. I'm not really great at it yet, so I'm in the process. But in the last 4 years, I've been using Outbound Engine, which is a great lead generation tool. And so it's worked well for me. I get reports on who's getting the emails, who's opening the emails, who's engaged, so that I can work with those people at that time and see what I can find them and follow up with my own, putting them into my own MLS and going that way.
Thank you. Sonia, what about yourself? What lead generation tool are you using?
So I'm probably the rare breed. I don't use lead generating tools at all. I, in fact, really don't want to increase my business, which I know sounds crazy, but I would say the only things that I'm doing each year and have been for probably a good 20 years is I not solicit, but I send a newsletter to my neighborhood once a year with a tacky magnetic calendar with my business card on it. And I just talk about the sales that took place in the last year, along with one value added comment, whether it be about septic replacement or 911 links or some type of added value paragraph, along with who I am if people don't know who I am. And then I just send a holiday card to every past client that I have. And last year I got so many thank yous through COVID for those yearly holiday cards, but really I don't do any lead generation, and I'm not really looking for additional business. I would love to find somebody to help me, actually. So that's my goal this year, is to have someone help me so I can be in Florida half the year, where I'm also licensed but not active at this point, and kind of move into retirement mode slowly.
Thank you. There's a book that was recommended to me. Our team will produce, we just formulated a team about 14 months ago, and we will hit about 60 million in volume. One of the books that was referred to me about a month ago is a book by Benjamin Hardy and Dan Sullivan, and it talks about the who and not the how, meaning obviously, like Lisa says, she's trying to get better knowledge or better equipped with KV Core. This book it kind of sheds a lot of light on finding the who, finding who can help you with that KV Core to take you out of the the monotony of trying to figure out another contact management system. Just a book I would recommend everyone read, especially all of us leaders here on the panel. But yeah, definitely a great book. I'll put it in the message box here. Craig, how much do you spend in lead generation, and what portion of your budget is lead generation, marketing, advertising?
Sure. We spend, if I just look at it as a marketing and advertising question, and what we spend across the board. So whether that lead gen is cold leads, warm leads, or whether it is what we do for our past clients, I think that all that kind of goes together. It's all for the purpose of bringing in more business. We spend probably, I couldn't tell you at this moment what it is from a percentage wise, but we spend probably a couple $1,000s a month, I would say, on the various lead generation sources. So we do work a farm, so we have mailers going out each month. We do pay for some Realtor.com zip codes around us. Most of that is because we just moved into the area, and so that's to get us help precipitate getting established. And then we spend quite a bit on Facebook advertising, Google advertising, that kind of thing, to really get established in our new community. So we do have a reasonable amount going out right now.
Is my sound working?
Otherwise, I would expect that to, over time, to shift more towards just spending that towards past clients.
Thank you. I don't know if Craig, I don't know if you're open to referral fees, but I think EXP has some sort of relationship with OpCity, and I believe that they can actually push leads to you for a referral fee upon closing.
Yeah, I've been aware of OpCity. We've done some OpCity work, and that is something that we do take in from time to time. But our goal is to get away from Realtor.com and those kind of things altogether. We basically jumped into that to get established in the community.
Got it. Thank you. Aaron, what about yourself? I mean, obviously you have a pretty powerhouse team. How do you track the business? I mean, on a daily, monthly basis.
Well, I'm fortunate. I have a marketing director that does everything for us on the marketing side, and we track every client that we have a form that gets turned into one of our 3 TCs that shows where the client came from, what media source it was it TV, radio, social media, PPC, whatever it was from. And then we track it as best as we can. But we have a really good brand here in Las Vegas. Aaron Taylor, the real estate guy. So when you do a lot of advertising and you have a large budget, sometimes it's hard to pinpoint it. But for the agents of the audience, I might just put something in the chat box. I don't know if you can see it or not. But when I first started, if you could just do this one thing, because you don't need really a lot of money to get going and agents don't do this, and even seasoned agents don't do it because we don't like rejection. Nobody likes someone to say no to them, right? And I've always been very used to it. To me, a no is just as good as a yes. A no doesn't bother me at all. It just helps me get to where I want to go. So years and years ago, probably 13, 14 years ago, we implemented the mayor campaign with Brian Buffini. And I put it in the chat box to help the agents. And we ask that question to every single person that we meet, and we still do it to this day, and I still do it to make sure that my close referral partners are still on board with me. And that's if you were to buy or sell a house around a friend or a family member is there an agent you would use to refer business to? And if it's somebody that we've already helped, are we still that team that you would use to refer business to? Because it's so important to know the no's and the yeses, because you need to know where to spend your money and where to spend your time, especially in kindling and creating stronger relationships. Agents don't like to ask people that question because they don't want people to say no to them. And sometimes they get shocked, and it's the people that are closest to them that will say no, but you just need to know. You don't know what you don't know. So, our budget, when I first started as an agent doing 5 deals a year, 10 deals, 20 deals, 30 deals, whatever it was, that's all I did. I didn't spend much money on advertising. I just made sure that everybody around me was on my ship, on my train that would use us. And that's so important to you guys listening in the audience. If you guys could just remember this by heart and ask this to everybody starting with your wife, your boyfriend, your sisters, your brothers, and work your way down to the people you know the best, to the people you know the least, you're going to see a drastic change in your business and in production.
That's awesome. Thank you so much for that. This is great. That's a great nugget there. Lisa, question. How do you track your business? Okay. Sonia, what about yourself? How do you track your business? Uh-oh.
I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. The other thing I do, I like what was just said, but the other thing I do is I do have an accountant that gives me my reports and helps keep me on track and make sure things are going the way they should. So I look at those reports monthly, and then I have a CPA that I check in with 3 to 4 times a year that we do projections and see where things are. So I know where I stand with taxes and Uncle Sam and where I stand with where things are coming and going and what's working, what's not. So professionals that I hire are so worth it.
Awesome. Again, it's the who, not the how, right?
Yep.
Sonia, what about yourself? How do you track your business?
I'm pretty bad about tracking my business. The only time I'm tracking it is when I need to pay my quarterly taxes, and then I just go online and figure out my taxes that way.
Great, thank you. Craig, what when your business is falling behind, where do you and your wife go for a booster?
We book a vacation because everything always picks up when you make plans to leave. That's the answer I like, but and it does work sometimes. But when it's going low to really boost things up, I would say we just kind of dig deeper in what we already do. If we're calling people 2 hours a day or talking to 10 people a day, then double that. Make sure we talk to 20 people a day. And just, like I said, it's a relationship business, as we all know now, as we've already said here. And so talking to more people, making more relationships is really the only place to go in my mind. You just have to do more.
For that. Hey, Aaron, question. What does your team's production look like for this year, and what are the goals for this upcoming year of 2022?
Yeah, so we have them all over. We've already, this has been our dominant thought for the last couple weeks, and we have posters all over the office and in the conference rooms. it's a 10, 20, 30, 40 is how we talk about it. So 10 is the number of agents that we're going to help become more successful in the year of 2022. 20 is the amount of 20 million that we're going to do every single month in production. 30 agents is where we're going to get to on the team. So we're going to go from 12 to 30. And then 40 is the number of transactions that we're going to do every month. So we're either going to do the 20 million a month or the 40 transactions. And then we're implementing systems to get there. So, we did some great things in 2021. So we're going to still do those, but then we're tweaking and changing and spending money in different areas. And I think that will get us to these goals and where we want to be.
Awesome. So 10, to build 10 successful agents, 20 million in volume per month, increase to 30 agents and 40 transactions a month.
Correct.
Wow. That's amazing. How are you doing? What were the projections for 2021?
So the 10 agents we've helped for sure. We're really working hard on our downline and our junior partners. So we're doing, much better at that. We did just shy of 10 million a month, and the 12 agents on the team, and we do about 25 transactions a month. So we'll close out over 100 million, 300 transactions, which is great. We've been doing that every year for a while now. So that's why we put our goals. That's why we stretched them a little bit this year, because we're kind of getting stagnant and doing what we're doing and getting comfortable. And man, I hate being comfortable. I have this saying that uncomfortable becomes comfortable with practice and action. And if you're not uncomfortable every single day, for me anyways, I'm not doing something right. I got to constantly step on the edge and feel like I'm jumping off a cliff. You got to have that feeling constantly. So we're really pushing ourselves this next year.
Awesome stuff. Thank you. Craig, as far as business planning for this upcoming year, do you business plan towards the end of the year, or when do you business plan for the upcoming year, and what do you use as far as maybe like an application or some sort of PDF that you use to business plan for the following year?
I don't use any specific application, so there's not like a software or an app or anything that we use. Business plan usually around sometime in November, typically. We already have for the coming year, so that we did that a couple weeks ago. But usually it's sometime in November. Just bring the team together into our home. We do work out of our home. And just go over last year's production, what worked, what didn't work, what are our weaknesses, strengths, what is, where are we most susceptible to not hitting our goals in the upcoming year, and then talking about what we want to do for the next year, lay out our marketing strategy, a marketing calendar, and what each person's individual goals are and the goals for the team for the upcoming year. And that's what we do in November. It usually takes a couple days that we spread out over probably 2 weeks. So we meet one day, then we all have a takeaway and reassemble and finalize everything at that point.
Thank you. Lisa, what about yourself? Do you business plan every year?
I do. I'm an individual agent, so I don't have anyone to business plan with. But I have to do it for myself, and I'm a procrastinator, so I'm in the process of finishing it up. I'm not done yet. And I actually, the last couple of years, Breakthrough Broker has had a really cool business plan template that I can use to kind of write things down and get my mind kind of in the right gear. So, and we do all have Breakthrough Broker, so that's a great way to look into something, a resource that you can use. But yes, I definitely do. I definitely have to do it to get myself on task and at least get my numbers out in front of me, because I'm definitely not a numbers person. I was hoping you don't ask me about numbers, because I honestly don't know my numbers, which I should. And so I have to sit down and look at those quarterly, and then once a year do this business plan so I can get kind of on track and know my goals.
Thank you. Sonia, what about yourself? Do you business plan for upcoming years of your business?
I'll be quick. No, I don't. Sorry.
Thank you. What about yourself, Aaron?
Yeah, constantly. I didn't used to, like the first, dozen years in the business. I would just kind of fly by the seat of my pants and I always just wanted to do more than I did the year before. But then, like the last 15 years, I'm pretty good at tracking numbers and tracking results and having a great staff of people to help me do things that I just don't like to do. And it's tough sometimes. I think when you're a new agent, and I teach this with all my junior partners, if you want to get something, if you read the book Think and Grow Rich, there's a chapter in there, and it's called what's it called? The 6 Steps to Success, something like that, which is pretty cool. And it really holds you accountable on tracking your results and your dominant thought and your goals and everything. But sometimes it's tough to, like, even writing our goals down for 2022. Sometimes it's hard for us to do because, I don't want to fail, right? I don't want to fail, and I don't want myself to think that I've failed because I'm afraid to put it out there. And I don't want to get lazy, and it's hard to do. It really is. It takes a lot of practice, and it's hard to do, but I've gotten better at it, thank God. And but it's not fun. I just want to have fun and make money, right? Let's go.
There you go. What about, so your team members, do you business plan with them, or they kind of just do their own, or how does that work?
Yeah, we business plan with them. So every Wednesday we have a team meeting, and then for the year we've already sat down with every one of the team members and gave them some goals for production, just not monthly, quarterly, and yearly. And when you ask someone, like, I'll give you an example. I have a girl named Natasha. She's only been in the business for about a year and a half. She's dynamite. The lady has so much potential. She has more potential than she knows, but the reason she's lacking confidence, right? Because she hasn't been in the business like us icons on the panel. So she's going to do about 12 transactions this year. So next year, she said she wants to do 15. And she sat down, and the reason she said 15 is she just doesn't have the confidence and the knowledge to push herself. And I said, Natasha, you're going to do 24. What are you talking about, 12? So we sat down, spent some time with her, showed her how she's going to do 24 in the team and not 12. And, but she didn't want to push herself because she didn't want to throw it out there to everybody and fail. She wanted to succeed. And I think if she throws out 24 and she hits 22, I mean, that's pretty successful, right? I mean, you got to push yourself.
Absolutely. I think I heard somewhere that there's 1.5 million agents in the U.S. and only 47,000 agents in north of 25 deals a year.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the average transactions now it used to be 6. I think it's 8. So out of all the 1.5 million agents, they do about 8 transactions a year. And as well as I do, like us icons, all the icons do the majority of the business. It's still probably that 80-20 rule still. So there's thousands and thousands that do 1 or 2. And if you want to do transactions, you want to help people, you want to make money in this business, there's a way to do it. You just gotta coming to these icon meetings in the world are a good start. They really are. Who's the guy in the front that's making those? That's hilarious. There's a guy in the front that's banging his head up and down. What is that? Is he bored?
Where's that? I don't see it.
The guy, the bald head guy in the front. I don't know.
Oh.
I'm just
funny.
I was just looking at him too. Funny.
It's like, okay, I'm sorry to bore you.
There's a question in the audience. Letty asks, what is everyone's advice for brand new agents to create a solid business foundation for?
I think getting out there and looking at your inventory, touring homes, and meeting people wherever you can, volunteering in the community, going out for dinner.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good start. I think joining a team is crucial. Don't worry about commission splits or anything like that. Even today, with 27 years of experience, I have a place in Hawaii, and my daughter goes to school in Oahu. And if I was ever to move to Hawaii and want to do real estate, even with 27 years, I would probably look at the top 3, 4, 5 teams in the city and want to join their team. Even if they put me on a 50-50 split, I wouldn't care, because I don't know the landscape. I don't know the terrain of Oahu and their culture. So I would want to join a productive team and learn the business at least for the first year. So you could really fast track your business if you join a really good team and just listen and do a lot of the things they say.
Yeah, I would also have to agree with Aaron on that one. That is excellent advice. I would say the first year, even 2 years, if there's a good team with some people that with a good environment where you can learn, and that's probably the best place to be. It can be a tough business to try and do it on your own right from the beginning.
Absolutely. We just formulated the team September of last year, and I think we're up to 12 agents right now. And we drive culture. Culture is everything. There's a book out there. Darn it, I forget what it's called, but I'll find it right now. It's somewhere playing here. I haven't finished it, but it talks about culture, and driving culture wins 99% of the time, because you can have powerhouse agents, but they do come with ego, and they're not willing to kind of adjust and learn from top producing teams. But it's all about culture, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll jump in on that real quick. I would agree 100%. If you are a new agent and you take this advice that you're looking for a team, you need to go and interview. And I don't mean be interviewed. I mean interview. You definitely want to make sure you're ending up in a place with a good culture, with people that don't have those egos and that are going to help you out.
Right. Aaron, so you're going to go to 30 agents this year. What do you look for in an agent, and how do you find them?
Well, we've always been pretty, it's been hard to join our team. We've had a lot of agents want to join us here in town, and I've always sat with them and tried to convince them not to join us, because we hold them pretty accountable on what they have to do. But this year we're going to open it up a little more. And what we decided to do this year, which I think is really going to help, and some of you guys that want to grow a team might want to use this too, is I would never have an agent join our team if they weren't in our downline. Like if they weren't a junior partner, I wouldn't bring them over. So if they didn't come from another company, I wouldn't put them on my team, right? Well, I think that philosophy was wrong, and we're changing that for 2022. So even if they're with EXP, because after all, it's all of our company, right? We're all owners of the company. Whether they're in our downline or not, at this point, I don't care. So we're going to, in January, we're going to do a seminar in town for all just EXP agents. And we're going to look for EXP agents that are out there lost. There's a lot of EXP agents that have been sponsored by agents in other cities and other states, and they just don't have the support. As well as I do, our company is the best at doing everything in the world, giving you a lot of support, being there for you. But as far as having a brokerage to go in and into, out of, sit down, have meetings face to face, it's kind of non-existent, or it's not there as much. So we're going to find those, what we call EXP orphans, and we're going to find those agents that need a group, that need some support, and we're going to add them to our team. And then we're going to be a little more lenient on what they have to do, but they could graduate to get to the A team if they want to. So I think that we're going to get to that 30 agents probably pretty quick by using that philosophy.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I think you spoke about this on a panel I shared. I was on a panel with you a couple of weeks ago. I think you shared that orphan agent.
Yeah, we talked about it. We were just kind of implementing it, and now we have the seminar set for the first week in January to get everybody going right. And then part of the seminar session is going to be me up there talking about adding agents. We're going to have a KV Core representative talking about that. We're going to have a financial planner to help agents. We're going to put it together to help all the agents in our town really carry the culture what EXP has already done. That, by the way, that's one thing I love about EXP is how from everybody, from our senior partners, from Glenn Sanford and all the way down, everybody has a role in helping somebody else, and nobody really gets rewarded or benefit from it unless they participate in helping, just like we are doing in the world here, right? We don't get our stocks and if we don't participate. And I think the way they structured it is just brilliant. It really is.
Absolutely. I think there was a question here in the audience. It says, if you have a mentor and then join a team, how does that work? It says, I guess, well, what does that mean? If you have a mentor and then join a team, how does that work? So I'm assuming when you join, you're assigned a mentor on your first 3 transactions. I don't know if we can answer that or somebody can chime in here.
Yeah, I'll jump in there real quick. I don't know how it would work with if you already have a mentor. If you join a team, you do not need to go through the mentor program, as I understand it. Our brand new team members have not had to go through the mentor program. Then I am responsible for that mentorship. If you've already entered that program, that could be different, but there may be something that can be worked out there.
Thank you, Aaron. That was a great idea as far as having an event in January. Where do you invite? Where do you have it? Who do you invite? Where do you get the information for these agents who are lost or not in production with EXP?
So get your broker to support you and help you. Your state broker, he'll be on board with it for sure because it's helping him out too, right? You'll find out with EXP that our brokers are so busy, but I mean they're just so busy and just trying to take care of the sky slope and all the meetings they're in and all that stuff. They're really not in place to help you with production, at least in our big cities, in the metropolitan cities. So get your state broker to participate. If you get him on board, he'll invite the agents, he'll help you because it helps the whole city in general. Then find a place that can house it for you. Maybe your title company. We have so many agents here in Vegas. I think we have about 800 that we're actually going to rent a room out in a convention center in one of the casinos. Because we'll probably have, I'm anticipating 200 or 300 that are going to show up. And then just kind of put it on that way.
Great idea. I like that. We have about 13 minutes left. Do you have any questions from the audience, from these amazing ICON agents? Here's one. Erica asks, how do you find a team? Erica, what state are you in? And if anyone can chime in, how would Erica find a team? Any suggestions?
Yeah, contact your sales rep for your title company. They have everybody's stats and they can tell you who has a team and who doesn't. They'll give you the numbers.
Excellent. This is Erica is looking for a team in California. I have a team here in Southern California. You're welcome to speak to me, or you can contact our state broker. I think her name is Deborah Penny. So she might be someone you want to speak to as well. So you can interview different teams and see if it's a fit for you. Any questions? Any other questions in the audience?
I have one for Sonia. Sonia, you're from Boston, Massachusetts?
Yeah, just north of there.
Are you a Brady fan or a Patriots fan, or both?
Both.
Gotta love our boy, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I love that Boston area. It's fantastic. We go there all the time, and I think Boston is probably the most beautiful city in the world, is Boston. Love it.
It is a great city. Thank you. We love it too. We're in Florida right now, which is, a home that we acquired down here as our kind of semi-retirement location. And thanks to EXP stock and the company, I can work down here too as soon as I'm ready.
Yeah, I get to Florida a lot. It's great. It really is. If anybody out there wants, just you know what? I'll put my marketing director's email in the chat box. If you want a couple scripts that we use, like that mayor campaign, and then another good one is we have a 15 seconds of fame that we use when we answer the phone, and then we have 5 steps to answering the phone. We'll shoot you over those 3 scripts for new agents. It'll really help you in your day-to-day business. So just email. I'm going to put her email, Janessa at therealestateguyLV.com, in the chat box, and you guys can email her, and she'll love me if she gets like 20 or 30 emails asking for that. She'll love it.
Thank you for that, Aaron. You're always so willing to give. That's awesome.
Yep, anything to help. Absolutely. There you go. All right.
So it's Janessa, Janessa, the Real Estate Guy LV.
Yep, Janessa at therealestateguyLV.com. Excellent.
Awesome. Well, I don't know if we get dinged for leaving a little early. Do we have to go to 9:30, or how does that work?
I don't know, but it's 9:21 and it's December, so I think we should go to work.
And it's Friday.
And it's Friday, right?
You gotta get ready.
You guys already have a cocktail in your hands, right? It's 12 o'clock over there.
Not yet. Everyone, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Until the next time, if we don't speak between now and Christmas, happy holidays to everyone, and happy New Year, and happy hunting.
Thank you,
Happy
Richard.
holidays. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Richard.
Thank you. See ya.